John Swinney fears that postal vote problems could affect the election results. We're going to read into this more from the BBC, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the BBC with the headline that John Swinney fears that postal vote problems could affect the election result. The SNP leader John Swinney has warned that closely fought election contests could be affected because some voters have not received their postal votes. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. So obviously the time, I just want to put this a bit of caveat in here. This is being recorded on Friday, so you guys will see this in a couple of days after I've recorded this. I also want to make this clear that this is not just something that's in Scotland. I'm hearing this in England and in Wales when it regards to postal votes as well. And there are also people. This is becoming a bit of an issue, and it's raising a lot of concerns. And we already know that a lot of people are going to have problems, their votes denied when it comes to a certain ID, because not everybody knows about having the correct ID turning up at these election polls as well. So we know that a huge amount of people are going to lose out on their casting there. And we also know that obviously changing the boundaries, changing the constituencies and all that kind of stuff, playing about with the electoral map that the Conservatives are trying to do to try and hold on to some kind of power, which we don't expect them to as well. They've also changed the boundaries in Scotland that have not been in the interest of, in my opinion, the SNP or in Labour in Scotland for that matter either. But this is just compounding what is already being, what is already going to be extremely a frustrating. At times, I'm going to call it a frustrating election because so many people are going to be missed out. Obviously, there's going to be a huge amount of voters who are just going to choose not to vote because they don't believe in any kind of politics or any politicians, and they don't trust any of the parties. They've lost complete faith, and that's totally understandable given how many people feel. But a lot of people will miss out on their votes simply because they are planning to go on holiday during the time of when the election's happening. They're not going to be in the country, which is why they've done postal vote, and they've not been able to send off their postal vote because they still haven't had it, and the clock is ticking because they've got to go on holiday soon. Like, it's literally on this Thursday, literally, and some people still can't send off their postal vote. This is an absolute travesty. And this is all kind of, and you also have to remember, people, is that this is all rushed as well a little bit because this election was called like just out of the blue by Sunak, and there's not been enough. I don't blame too much the electoral. I don't know if it's right to blame the Electoral Commission because this was kind of thrown out of nowhere. It was not like it was expected to come. It came out of the blue. So is it a case that there wasn't enough preparation for this? Is it a case that they just haven't sent them out? Is this a case that maybe the post office haven't been doing their job properly? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that people's voices are being denied in this. And this is literally voter suppression. And it's not right in any way, shape or form. So obviously, if you haven't gotten if you are voting by postal, do everything follow up who you need to follow up whoever you need to follow up on in doing so, because everyone's voice really matters at this election. It really, really does. So a number of voters have told BBC Scotland News that they have not received their ballot papers prior to going away on holiday. This is specifically Scotland, but I'm hearing this in England too, so it's not just them. A number of voters have told BBC Scotland News they have not received their ballot paper prior to going away on holiday. The First Minister said he was very concerned that tight contest could hinge on voters who have been disenfranchised by the problems. He said the issue showed that he was correct to raise concerns over the 4th of July time of the election when Scottish national school holidays begun and many voters are away. He told Good Morning Scotland, just as I feared as we would be, people leaving Scotland on their holidays have applied for postal votes and they haven't got them through. It's not in any way, shape or form a surprise to me that is the case. It is deeply unacceptable situation that people in Scotland will be disenfranchised because of calling the election has been done at a time which is quite inconvenient for a lot of people. On Friday, City of Edinburgh Council announced it had opened an emergency voting facility at its city chamber where voters still waiting for postal votes could have their voted pact reissued or cast vote on the spot in privacy. The First Minister said an estimated 25% of people in Scotland would vote by post, and he's believed there would be a high number of very close contests. He cited races in the 2017 general elections such as Perth and North Perthshire, where the margins was 21 votes, and North East Fife, where the winner was just 2 votes ahead of the second place candidate. Mr. Swinney added individual votes counts very, very significantly. I'm troubled by what's happened with the postal ballots because in an election where there will be a number of marginal contests in Scotland, I'm worried that people will be left disenfranchised. The Electoral Management Board of Scotland warned on Thursday that there have been many difficulties experienced with the delivery of postal votes. A number of Scottish councils confirmed delays in ballots being received by voters, including Edinburgh, Fife and West Lothian. Perth and King's Ross Council stated on social media felt a comprehensive review of capacity and system is necessary after the election. Royal Mail said he had investigated concerns over delivery of postal votes in some areas, but found no backlogs of any in its offices in Scotland. Many councils have been sending out postal ballots in tranches, with people who applied after June the 2nd having to wait longer before the ballot packs are dispatched. Mr. Swinney also said on the programme that it's crystal clear the best way to resolve the debate over Scottish independence would be to hold enough of a referendum on the matter. He was asked whether a failure to secure a majority of seats in the general election would be a signal from voters that the issue should not be pressed until the next Scottish election in 2026. Mr. Swinney replied that 2021 Hollywood elections had provided a clear mandate for a second referendum, but that the Westminster government had folded his arms and refused to engage. He said that is to deny democracy, and I just think it would be healthy for our democracy if the United Kingdom government would actually engage and enable the rights of the people of Scotland to determine their own constitutional future. He said he would look to take forward the controversial gender recognition bill in the event of there being an incoming Labour government, but he insisted that the safety of women and girls would be at the heart of his decision making. Scottish Parliament's legislation was blocked by Conservative governments at Westminster using their Section 35 order on the grounds that it would interfere with operations within the UK-wide Equality Act. The First Minister was speaking ahead of the SNP's launching its battle bus during the final weeks of the campaigning for party. Elsewhere in Scotland on Friday, the Deputy Leader Angela Rayner attended a rally at Labour's New Deal for Working People in Hamilton. She said that her party can offer hope and optimism to Scots and claimed that Scotland would be at the heart of a Labour government. Scottish Liberal Democrats leader Alex Cole-Hamilton is in New Selton to highlight the extent of sewage dumping in Scotland, while Scotland Conservative leader Douglas Ross is campaigning in Peterhead. The main, obviously, topic of discussion is obviously about the postal votes. Is what I was really wanting to talk about on this one, because I'm glad John Swinney's put out this point, because like I've said, I have heard reports and I have heard even people in comments and that saying that they still haven't received their postal votes. So it's not just a Scotland problem, and I'm worried that I haven't, as of right now, I've not heard much. I heard a lot. I'm worried that the mainstream media is too distracted by Nigel Farage and whatnot to point this out that, hey, a lot of people are being denied their postal vote in England as well, or in Wales. Like, this is a problem. This is the problem. We're already going to have so many people disenfranchised by the voter ID or being put off because they don't want to vote altogether. It's really, really bad, and it's really undemocratic that people are not going to be able to cast their votes. Extremely frustrating, to say the least, here. And John Swinney is right. There should not be these issues should not be happening, and there needs to be an investigation into why these are happening in the first place. But what do you guys think? What do you guys make of the situation around postal votes? Are any of you listening to this? If you've gone by postal vote, are you posting? Have you got yours and sent it off already? If not, can you let me know if you still haven't got yours? Let me know your thoughts about it all and more in the comments section down below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.